Hello, everyone, and welcome to segment 3. You will notice that segment 3 looks a bit different from the first two because from this point, I am going to be introducing Unit 8. Unit 8. And the new topic is work. So in this segment, we are going to talk about some new vocabulary, some useful idiomatic expressions, and also some useful cultural information that I hope will be helpful for you. Okay, so hopefully you can see my face in the screen on the right side. Sometimes I might move the screen just so you have full capability of viewing. So let's get started. So first, let's talk about some work-related idioms. I hope that it's useful and helpful for you to learn about idioms because these are common, everyday spoken English expressions. When you hear these in daily life, TV, movies, radio, I hope that it will help you to understand. So, relating to work, the very top line, we have 3 expressions, and all of these relate to getting fired, meaning losing your job. The first one is get the boot. Get the boot. And if you imagine a big shoe, someone kicking you out of the company or out of a club or anything like this. So get the boot means get kicked out. The next one is probably more common in Britain, in the UK. So get sacked, to get sacked. It means also to lose your job or be fired from your job. Sometimes we also use this expression here, but I often hear this on British TV and so on. Okay, the last expression is to get axed or get the axe. And if we think literally, it's not a good meaning because it means to lose your head. But essentially, it means to lose your job, lose your work. So do you notice I have get or got axed? So depending on what verb tense you want to use. The next expression is a phrasal verb. It is take on, take on. So there are a couple meanings or ways to use this phrasal verb. And the first one is to actually hire someone for a new job. And the next one is to add work to your life, to add, to take on something new, something else. Let's see the first example. He took on some extra work to make ends meet. Make ends meet means survive. So in this case, the meaning to take on is to add work, to add something to your life. The next example is relating to hiring. The company took on 7 new employees to help solve the crisis. So in this situation, can you feel the company hired 7 new employees? All right. The third example on this slide is to give marching orders. You know the word marching. In Korea, for example, military service is mandatory for all young men. So marching comes from military, this action of walking with the rest of the army. And in the army, the captain or the general gives the orders to the soldiers. So in this situation, we are comparing work to a general or boss giving orders to his or her company or workers. So to give marching orders at the job, you might hear the boss every morning say, okay, today we must first contact 7 new customers. Second, we must clean the storage room. So this will be the instructions or the daily tasks given by the boss. All right, moving on. Another expression is going the extra mile. And the first one I'll talk about is the extra mile. Let me make sure that you can see the screen. So I'm going to move my face a little bit here. So going the extra mile is doing more than what is required to help, or even more that was asked to do from the boss to the employees. The next expression, pulling your weight. This could mean you are doing enough or you are doing the equal amount to other colleagues or coworkers in order to help your company. So if you imagine pulling your weight, if you imagine everyone has the same amount that they must pull. So if I join, I do my part, I am pulling my weight. Equal part, equal task with my colleagues. So going the extra mile and pulling your weight are relating to work progress. I'm sorry, I accidentally, there we go. Let's continue on. I'm losing the, there we go. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Technical difficulties. The next slide is talking about some phrases relating to working too hard. The first one, to work your fingers to the bone. Can you repeat after me? To work your fingers to the bone. Okay, so work so hard or by writing or typing that you rub off the skin all the way to the bone. Of course, this is not a literal meaning. This is symbolic. So if I'm working so hard, typing away at work, or maybe I'm writing so hard that my fingers feel like they are falling off. Example, she worked her fingers to the bone on that project. Now she's exhausted. The second one, to burn the candle at both ends. I happen to have a candle because I'm sitting at my dining room table. Okay, so every candle has two ends, all right, the top and the bottom. If I am burning this candle from both ends, that means this candle will disappear quickly. So if I'm working, and slowly the candle is melting all the way to the bottom. So if you think about this expression means I work morning, noon, and night. All day I'm working so hard. So I'm going to move this again. I'm sorry. So working all day without stopping. Another possibility could be you have more than one job. So you are so tired. Example, his mother was burning the candle at both ends with 3 jobs that she finally burnt out. Okay? Same meaning. The candle burns out. I can burn out from working too much. The third example, to put pen or pencil to paper. So I could also be talking about the literal meaning here. Putting my pencil to this paper means I start writing or I start working. So let's see an example. Okay, we've got great ideas. Now let's put pen to paper. So let's get started. Let's actually start our work. The final example on this slide. Show someone the ropes. Okay. Show someone the ropes. I could also change someone to a different pronoun. Show him the ropes. Show her the ropes. So you can probably guess that this means to train or teach a new employee. Usually it's an older or more experienced employee who is teaching or guiding a new employee. Doesn't have to be a young employee, just a new employee. Example, I was new on the job, but a kind colleague showed me the ropes. Now I feel confident. Okay, maybe you can take a moment and take some notes here. So these expressions relate to at the workplace, how we work, or expressions to start work. All right. All right, now, the next slide is about relating to coworkers. So we have 4 expressions here. How about let me introduce these first, repeat after me, and then I can give some explanations and examples. The first one, don't beat around the bush. Don't beat around the bush. And the same thing, do you notice the T in beat is more silenced? Don't beat around the bush. Okay, the second one, take the rap. Take the rap. And the third one, butter someone up. Here's the American pronunciation. Butter, English, British, and American style, butter. Butter someone up. If you remember last term, sometimes I mentioned the expression brownie points. So this is a little bit similar meaning. And the last expression, pull a few strings. Pull a few strings. Now let's talk about some explanations and examples. Don't beat around the bush. This is a very common expression in American culture, in Western cultures in general, because direct communication is very important. And if you think about another expression, get to the point, get to the point. Essentially, what are you talking about? So let's imagine there's a bush, a large plant, and let's imagine someone is running around the plant, repeatedly running around without stopping. You may think to yourself, what are you doing? Why are you running around this bush? You have to stop. So this imagery, this symbolism means get to the point, stop going in circles around the topic. The second phrase, take the rap. This means to take the blame or accept the guilt for a bad situation or a problem. This could be at work. This could also be in a personal relationship. Let's give an example here. I accidentally broke the copy machine, but my coworker took the rap for me. Lucky you, your coworker took the blame, but it was your fault. Okay. The third expression, butter up someone. So, to treat someone very well in order to get special treatment or favors, maybe high esteem. So, usually, speaking about work, maybe you are trying to please the boss. So, you try to earn brownie points and get special approval or even a favor. Example, he's been buttering up the boss. I think he wants a raise. And the last phrase, pull a few strings. So this means to use personal connections or relationships in order to help someone, maybe to get a job or a special opportunity. Example, let me pull a few strings for you. I think I know someone who works at that company. If you hear this expression, you will feel lucky because someone is helping you to get a connection into a company. And I think many countries, this is probably the same. Do you agree? All right. Now, that is the end of this presentation. We're going to divide this into two parts for this PowerPoint. And so I will pause here. And the next part actually will be for day 2 of our online classes, segment 1. So I will see you again later, and we'll begin with the next part. Thank you.